Today, students, we will be talking about how America was made and how we got our freedom. When the Constitution was written, compromises were made, which were necessary for the creation of the Constitution and to have a healthy country. The Constitution was written at the Constitutional Convention that met in Philadelphia in 1787 to draft the Constitution of the United States. In only 4 months, the Philadelphia Convention produced the document that has governed the U.S. for more than 200 years. They met to revise the Articles of Confederation. The convention drew 55 delegates from all the states except Rhode Island, which chose not to attend. The majority of the delegates were in their 30s, 40s. During the passing months, dispute among states and violent outbreaks such as Shays' Rebellion convinced the delegates to make a constitution for a strong U.S. government. They had some disagreements while writing the document. They debated over representation and slavery. They were not happy with each other. There were 2 plans that were brought to the table. The New Jersey plan, where there was a one-house legislature and equal representation in Congress. The plan was supported by many northern states due to the fact that they are smaller, and they feared losing power. The Virginia plan wanted a 2-house legislature and favored representation to be based on population. The plan was supported by southern states due to their larger population. They also disagreed about slavery. Southern states supported slavery and want it to affect representation. To balance all of these different views, they made 2 compromises to write into the Constitution. The first was the Great Compromise, which made a 2-house legislature, with equal representation in the upper house and representation in the lower house proportional to the population. They also made the 3/5 compromise, which said that 3/5 of the slaves counted as population in determining representation in the House of Reps, and 3/5 of slaves would count for taxation. After the Constitution was written and all of these compromises were made, it was time for the people of the United States to approve the Constitution. 2 groups formed, the Federalists and the Anti-Federalists. Taxation without representation, heard that? Bill of Rights, Constitution, you definitely have. All 13 states ratified by 1790, only with the addition of the 10 amendments, known as the Bill of Rights, that guaranteed citizens' rights and freedoms. People who supported the Constitution were Federalists. They wanted a strong national government to preserve order. Those who opposed the Constitution were Anti-Federalists. They thought the new government by the Constitution was too strong and threatened state governments. Order versus liberty? That is the question. There were possibly more Anti-Federalists in America, but the Federalists were more organized, controlled the news, and were in better positions of power. The solution? Add some amendments to the Constitution that protect individual liberties and rights. Liberties protected included freedom of speech, press, religion, and assembly, which was the First Amendment. The Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. So if people wanted to be protected with weapons, they could be. And the Third Amendment, the right to refuse soldiers in your home, because obviously British rule wasn't too good to them. And they didn't like the fact that people were going into their house, soldiers, without respect and wanting things. The Bill of Rights plus the Constitution allowed us to be who we are today, which is free.